This is the plaintiff, Yvonne Ellis. She says she has a 75-year-old house, which is very drafty, so she hired the defendant to come up and seal her windows with plywood. When she discovered he was overcharging her for the work, he refused to allow her to cancel the job. According to the law in Connecticut, she has 3 days to cancel a contract and get a full refund, and that's just what she's suing for today, her $700 deposit. This is the defendant, Angel Nieves. He says the woman got her son to do the work cheaper than he was charging, and he offered to give her back $500 of the $700 to be nice. But no, that's not good enough. She said she was going to have her lawyer call him, and he said, great, at least he'll have someone with a level head to talk to. He's accused of being too wooden.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff has a drafty 75-year-old house, hired the defendant to seal the windows, realized that he was gouging her, and now he won't return her money. But the defendant says it's a simple story. She found someone to do the work cheaper, and that's not his problem. It's the case of the house that passed wind.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Yvonne Ellis,
Yes.
you are suing Angel Nieves for $700, a deposit that you gave him for some work that you wanted done in your home, and that
Right.
he won't return to you after you changed your mind. Tell me
Yeah.
what's going on.
Well, I got his number quite some time ago from some friends, and I called, and the first time I called, I got somebody else, I guess it was his nephew or son, I don't know. And he gave me the other number to get a hold of him. Okay, so when I called him, he came out on a Sunday, I believe it was, and I told him that I needed windows closed up, 5 windows closed up, because the house is very drafty. Then I gave him $700 cash money in November on a Thursday night.
What day?
That was the 16th, I believe.
Okay.
And then when I called him, that I want to cancel it,
When did you call him to cancel?
that Friday, and I couldn't get a hold of him Friday, but I called him early Saturday morning. And I told him I wanted to cancel the contract. Okay? So I told him that was within 3 days.
Okay.
So he came, he gave me a lot of status, and then he came by
He
the
gave
house.
you a lot of what?
Status, a lot
Static?
of talk.
Okay, so he gave
A lot
he
of
said,
talk.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just...
Did you actually say to him, I'm within my 3 days?
Yes, I did.
Okay, go on.
And then I called, because I belong to Legal Shield.
What's Legal Shield?
It's a law firm.
Okay, and you pay like a certain amount, and then when you need
every,
it, you can use it?
every month I pay so much,
Okay.
towards this.
Where are they now?
They told me to call small claims court.
That was helpful.
Yeah, he said,
If you've been watching me for the last 12 years, you would have known that already.
yeah, well, so,
right, so-
I called small claims court. and
What
get
happened,
that.
Mr. Nieves?
Well, cheese has only part of the story.
Okay,
I say part of the story because I think she got confused
okay.
by a lot of the things that was written. First, when she called me, I received a message when I got home saying that, somebody called about fixing something. That's how they told me. I said, who? They said they don't know because I still have old customers that called because big
Okay,
guy,
but the contract was entered into on Wednesday or Thursday?
it was on a Wednesday, really.
But on Saturday, did you talk to her?
Yes, but what transpired, what I'm trying to get to, when she first called and I arrived, I said, how did you get my name? Because people stopped calling me because my business had been closed for about 2 or 3 years. So
Yeah, but that's before all this. I don't care about that. I want to know when she called you to tell you I don't want to do this.
she called me on a Saturday.
Okay, and did you talk to her that day?
Sure. I
Okay, so
called-
then that's within the 3 days, so what's the problem?
I don't know because I let me finish.
Why won't
There
you
is
give
a
her back
don't
her
know
money?
because of the
Okay.
reason I did tell. I said, yeah, it's even on the piece of paper that I had. I said, you got 3 days to change your mind.
And what piece of paper do you have
I
that
gave
tells her
her.
that?
I gave a old contract paper. How you call it? A contract list that I had in the drawer for a long time, an old one, because she wanted something with my name on it, and it was just one copy. I don't even have a copy because this was one of those. I'm going to help you now, and just that type of thing.
Mr. Nieves, you need to tell me what it is you gave her, because the only thing she's handed me are 2 contracts, which are not an old copy of a yada yada. Are you no longer licensed?
No, this is what I told her from the beginning.
Wait a minute. You entered into a contract with her on a document that says Big Guy Home Improvement, licensed, comma, insured.
That's 3 years old.
Well, then don't use it. What the heck?
I gave her a blank piece of paper before when I gave her the money.
I don't care. Why are you using this and falsely stating that you're licensed and insured if you're not?
Well, I should have crossed it out, but
Oh,
in
you
the beginning.
think?
Yes,
Because what it looks like, all right, to everybody else, is that you're lying to people and pretending you have your license still if you don't, which is a really bad no-no. Okay? Really bad no-no.
So this dude doesn't have a license to do business. Does she get her money back?
I don't think she should get to give her money back.
Why?
Because just because she found someone else to do it cheaper, what does that mean?
Well, that's what he says. But if he doesn't have a license, he's kind of working illegally,
That's
isn't he?
right. He should be liable. And if he's not legal, and if something happens and she can't get her money back, then he needs to try to, make it right.
Well, does he have to return her money?
Honestly, I don't think so. She should have checked to see if he had a license first.
Well, she could have done that, true. That's actually a good point, going inside the courtroom.
I know you're not licensed because Connecticut law requires you to give your registration number on one of these contracts, and I see nothing. Connecticut law requires you to hand her the law that says that she has 3 days to cancel a home improvement contract, and I see did you get that, ma'am?
No.
Of course not. And I see nothing. Mercifully, who's the one who told you have 3 days to cancel that? That's ridiculous. The price is too high. I'll take care of it for you.
I asked one of my co-workers, and I had 3 days to cancel it.
Okay. And so then you did.
And I did.
And you just don't want to give her back her money.
No.
What right do you have to the money?
I was not even in town. I called her and I gave her a specific date that I was going to be there. The job was supposed to start on a Friday. Friday night, I got
Mr. Nieves, she cancels the contract on Saturday. Of that, there is no dispute.
Right.
All right? So you owe her $700.
Right.
Why haven't you paid the $700 you owe her since last November?
I went to her house with $500 and I put it in her hand and I said, listen, there are certain products that I bought for your house that once you open up the product and you start using it, you can't return it. So I told her it was the plywood I would stay with because I had already pre-cut it and pre-measured everything. Everything was pre-cut.
Okay, why are you doing that without waiting the 3 days?
Well, actually, I just took this something. It was going to be just
Except
do
for
it.
that
Nobody-
a licensed contractor in Connecticut knows that you wait the 3 days. You don't start working on it for 3 days until the contract is solid.
She asked me, when can I start? I said I could start tomorrow.
Okay,
She
but
said
that's
it
your
was
problem,
fine.
Mr. Nieves. It's not hers. How is that a reason why? Did he give you the $500?
He told me, he says, here's $500.
Did you accept them?
I says, I cannot accept it. I gave you $700.
Why don't you just take the $500 and sue him for $200?
Yeah,
Who are those two people over there?
that's my daughter and my son-in-law, her
Okay,
husband.
well, I assume they gave you an earful on the issue of not taking the
They
$500.
fussed at me.
Mr. Nieves, pay the lady the $700 and stop being a crook, okay?
I never did that.
Yeah, you are. You're a crook. You either know the law or have since then been informed by her of the law, and you still didn't return the money, okay? Pay the lady.
Well, here we go. Come on in here. What do you have to say there coming out of the courtroom here?
All right.
What?
I think I didn't get a chance to speak everything because
Well, if she has 3 days to cancel the contract, right?
I can't give
Why
money
didn't you wait 3 days before you bought materials?
because we both already said I can start the next day. She said I can. I said, when can you start? I
Okay,
said
the next day. All right, right down this way. Okay, right down there. Come on in here. All right, step on in here. So what are you thinking as you come out of the courtroom here? Step up. What are you thinking?
Justice is done,
Really?
really.
Really? Anything else? What do you,
I'm
where
glad
you going? Come on up here. Come on, don't sneak away on me now. Come on. What are you
Well-
thinking about here on this case? Did he try to pull one over on you here?
Matter of fact, he did.
He did try?
Which I tried to tell her that.
You tried to tell?
Yeah,
Why didn't you listen to him?
No, I just wanted to get the house fixed.
I know.
You know?
All right, let's go to Harvey.
You know, everybody talks about these 3-day cooling off periods that you hear about. Generally, and this does vary a little from state to state, but generally, those 3-day cooling off period laws only apply with home solicitation contracts. If somebody comes to your home and asks you to sign a deal, you have 3 days to change your mind. If it's not that 3-day period doesn't apply.